Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. This is from a guy. He is from overseas. He didn't really specify where he's from, but he shares his story about his experience where he met this woman when he was 20 years old. He worked with her, found her attractive, but didn't really pursue her because he knew from advice from his father and brother that getting involved with a gal that you work with isn't a good idea. Could lead to a lot of problems, and this is before obviously things got real bad over here with the M2 movement and all that. And you're going to see here how she definitely really liked him, really pursued him, did everything she could to get him, and finally he agrees to start seeing her and all that, and eventually they get together, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know the drill. And things are going good, and eventually they move in together, and it all goes downhill from there. As I've warned you guys many times, don't move in with your girl unless one occasion if you plan on marrying her, as a test run to see what it's going to be like for your marriage. And then problems arise, and you're going to see here how what happens. But ultimately, as you can imagine, things don't work out very well. She definitely does a dirty deed. And what's interesting is because of this guy's culture, her family doesn't turn on him. They turn on her. And it's all about what he experiences and things like that, and how he pretty much, from the beginning, told her, look, if we're going to break up, if you're not happy, don't cheat on me. Just tell me, we'll break up. But it doesn't exactly go that way. You're going to see how this whole situation is handled, how he handles it, and it's very interesting the way her family, because the family chooses him, not her, because they realize he's a good guy. And that's quite different than over here in the West. But anyhow, guys, I'm going to go through this, and you'll see a little more what I'm talking about. Starts off, he says, greetings. I'm Jay. One of my friends showed me your channel and encouraged me to share my story, so here you go. Also, excuse my English, it's not my first language. It's interesting. I'm getting a lot of emails this week from guys overseas reaching out to me, and I think that's awesome. And guys, I got to tell you, I tell you all the time, if you got a really good story, by all means, share it with me. And I do everything on this channel. Articles, crazy stories, personal stories. My favorite are personal stories. Like I say at the end, you got a great story you want to share with me, by all means email over to me and I will do it down the road if it certainly works. Anyhow, he says, this happened when we were 20 years old and worked in the same company, but different departments. Some of my coworkers introduced us because we attend the same college. At the beginning, we built some kind of friendship, but nothing more. She always hinted that I asked her out, and even some of the coworkers hinted the same, but I always kept her at an arm's length. Good idea. You work with her. Don't mess up your line of work, because the odds are you're going to break up or something's going to happen, and it can mess up. This is your livelihood. Back in the day, it was common people got together at work. It's not worth it nowadays, especially with nowadays the ease that someone can make a complaint to HR and make something up if they don't like you or something goes wrong. And you're out of there. Jeopardizes your whole career. Not worth it. He says, to be honest, I liked her from the beginning. She was good looking with good upbringing. Seemed level-headed, seemed to know what she wanted and where she was going in life. Difficult things to find in someone since you're prone to mess around at that age. But I still didn't pursue her because my father and older brother told me never mix your personal life with work. Well, you should have listened to your father and brother. Embrace their wisdom and life experience. It doesn't matter how good or hot it looks, it will end in problems. And I always take at heart the advice of those two men as they mean well. I should have kept listening, but here we are. When she realized that I wasn't going to ask her out, she took the initiative. She started to pursue me at work and in college. She even presented me her brother, who I always knew because we had a few classes together, but never knew they were related. Always tried to talk to me, offering help with projects at school. She gave me rides, but the thing that made me cave was that she brought me food every day. He says always breakfast for work and sometimes lunch for college. It's hard to resist healthy homemade food, and combined with the fact that I hate eating outside and my prep meal game was weak, I would fold. As the saying goes, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And that is obviously no different here in the US of A or on the other side of the world. But before we started dating, I told her things are simple with me. Now listen to this. This is a guy making it abundantly clear to her. He said, if you are solid, I'm solid. If you betray me, you are dead to me. If you want to be with someone else for whatever reason, tell me. Don't cheat. I don't even care if it's by text message right before you bang someone. Just tell me it's over. She understood, and off we went. Yeah, well, she claimed to understand, but this guy made it abundantly clear. If you're not happy, fine. Break up with me. If you want to do it by text, okay. No big deal. Just don't go cheat on me. Don't humiliate me. Don't embarrass me with that BS. She's like, okay, no problem. The first 2 years were good, with minor things here and there, but nothing that couldn't be solved easily. Well, that's how it works. It's called the honeymoon period for a reason. We finished college. I got a different and better job, and she got a better position. Life was going great. Things were so good that it even crossed my mind that this could lead to something bigger. Again, that's usually how it goes. A year later, we started living together in an apartment. And here's where things go downhill. If things were going really good, okay, keep at it. Doesn't mean you got to move in together. Now, obviously, it sounds like he's already hinting and thinking about potential marriage. But even then, you've been dating for a couple of years. I take longer, especially in today's world. And a lot of people say it doesn't matter if you have that connection. Yeah, well, I've seen, how many stories have I done here, guys, you've listened to where there's been this connection after a year, 2 years, and then boom, all goes south from there. A year later, we started living together in an apartment that belonged to her parents, but life happened. I got busy with work, and my father was dealing with health issues. So our time became less and less, and she was always in a sour mood during those moments, making a big deal out of nothing. You know the drill. So this is the girl that everything was so cool with for a couple of years. They move in together, and as a sample of real life, he's busier at work because that's how things are going to be for a guy that's on the rise. And she's not very happy about it. His father's health is having problems, so he has to take care of his family as a loyal, good son would. And she's not happy because she's not getting the attention she once was. Now, one could say maybe this actually was good they moved in together to see what she's really like. Okay, I get that. But even still, if they didn't move in together, it would be different. You can go back and forth on the debate there. It says, until one day she exploded and told me this isn't what she imagined and that we should break up just like that. No, let's have some time apart, or how can I help you? Let's figure it out. Nothing. Just break up. You should have done it then. Because that showed you. If in the back of his mind, he was thinking maybe she'll make good wife material, or right then and there. Because he was busy at work, focusing on doing better, which would help the family one day. She's pissed off because she doesn't have time with him. He's spending time with his family, taking care of his father, as any loyal, good son would do. She's pissed off about that. And now she's pulling the, this is what I thought it would be bullshit. And we should break up. Should have left. But, he says, I thought if this is how she's going to react to bad times, I better leave. So I agree. I was so tired at the time that I didn't fight it. That took her by surprise, and she started to cry that I didn't care and all that crap. So one minute she says, I want to break up, that's it, it's over. And the guy says, okay, you know what? It's for the best. And all of a sudden, it's like, wait a second, you're not destroyed by this? And now she's upset. What did I tell you about rejection, guys? I literally, a gal could be in the mood ready to reject you, to break up with you. And if you act like you don't care and walk away, all of a sudden it's like, wait a second here. And all of a sudden she's more attracted to the guy. It's so screwed up. I just calmly told her that our only problem was time. I had very little, but even then, I was still here trying. Doing my part in the relationship for her to give me crap every time she was in a bad mood. When she wasn't doing it, we had a great time. I'm trying, but I will force you to. I'm trying, but I won't force you to stay. If you want someone to give you more time, you better go find it. I'm still solid, but you are not. It's better to break up before you end in pieces. Exactly. And he should have trusted his gut. He should have walked away there. But watch what happens. And you're going to see where the old expression, someone wanting their cake and eating it too, is going to come in the situation. After hearing the last part, she backed off and apologized. She said she was overwhelmed and was going to be better. I decided to let it go, but the doubt was there. Should have trusted the doubt. Trust your gut. She went off to her old self as days passed. 6 months later, my life went back to normal. Work relented and my father was better, but for some reason, the doubt never left. That's the old gut telling you something's not right. Trust your gut. Another month later, my best friend contacted me to see each other. Told me that his girlfriend, my other best friend, found mine with another dude she knew from somewhere, and had proof and wanted to show it to me. There you go. The guy didn't listen to his gut. He should have walked away, and now he's got a friend coming to tell him that, guess what? Sorry to tell you this, but someone saw your girl with another dude. Sounds like she wanted to have him there, but also get her attention from someplace else. What I tell you about attention and validation. We met, and they showed me my girl with another guy hugging and kissing. My friend's girlfriend got the truth from a friend of hers who knew the guy and told me this was going on for 6 months, right after our big fight. Right there. So she stayed with him, but figured, okay, I'll get my kicks and attention from some other dude, but I'll keep you around because, you can pay the bills and all. I was angry because she had a way out, but was too weak to go through it. She wanted to have her cake and eat it too. Exactly. But I was angry at myself for not leaving back then. The past is the past. The only thing you can do is learn from it. Like I said, I don't like betrayal. My family and the hood taught me to be solid always. I was trying, and this is what I get. No more. My friends knew what I wanted, and they were ready to help. I told them to keep the pictures just in case things go wrong, but to not send them to anyone. The first thing I did was go to the apartment with my brother to get stuff before she returned from work. It was mainly clothes and books. The rest was hers and her family. My brother left with my things, and I headed to meet with both the brother and her parents. When we started dating, her brother told me that if she ever slipped, to let her go. Her parents raised the well, so there was no excuse for it. Damn, this was her brother telling this guy this. And why did he have a gut feeling that she may slip? That ought to say something. I took him seriously after I knew him more. The guy was too rigid, but a great guy nonetheless. Her parents, the same amazing people. They weren't fond of me at the beginning because of different beliefs, but after a few situations with them, without involving my girlfriend, their opinion changed rapidly. When I met them, I told them it was over. They asked why, and I told them there were irreconcilable differences. They got heated. They never screamed at it or anything. They were just frustrated because I was going in circles. Her brother said she was cheating. There couldn't be other reason for this. I didn't answer. They couldn't believe it, he says, her parents. Because of them, it was something that could never have happened. I was about to leave as I didn't want to tell them the truth. He said, not for embarrassment or to protect my ex. I just simply felt for them. But her father stood up in front of me with a face mixed with anger and sadness and said to just tell them. Seeing him that way was enough, so I finally showed them the pictures. They got incredibly mad and more when I told them for how long. We talked more about the situation and what was next. I said English is not his first language, guys, so a few words are mixed up here, so bear with me. I said that with them, everything is fine. Nothing has changed. I was a phone call away. If they needed something, but with her, it was over. I'd already taken my things, and I only had to let her know. They can go to the apartment to make sure I didn't take anything in the meanwhile. They said it wasn't necessary. They bought everything, so I had their permission to take whatever I wanted. Wow. So at first they obviously didn't want to hear this, or they were upset, but then they realized, you know what, their daughter is in the wrong here, and they felt really bad about it. And they said, hey, we paid for all this stuff in the apartment, take whatever you want. And that's pretty nice of them. I left after that. I went to the apartment, and she arrived a few minutes later to me. She was crying. I thought her parents told her, but no. Someone else gave her the heads up, and before she said anything, I went right to it. I showed her the pictures while telling her we are done. He says, you know what happens when someone betrays me? I told you, if you don't want to go through with it, you better not contact me again. My phone was blowing up on the way home. I already had calls and messages from my circle, but hers, he says they were the ones who told her thanks to my friends spreading the photos. But hers, they came after the breakup. My circle was ready to go full ape, but I told them it wasn't necessary. Her circle didn't make excuses for her and just left me a message to let me know that they will drop her. And her friends told me that she asked them to talk to me, but they will stay out of it. The downfall was brutal. With regards to work, my coworkers from my former department told me she called in sick to work the whole week, and they still are very sorry for me. They told me everyone who knew us, and when she came back the next week, they made it very clear which side they were on. She was a pariah to the point that the main boss intervened, but it didn't work. And she quit 2 weeks later because of the hostile environment. Isn't that interesting? The parents are behind this guy, the friends are behind this guy, even the work So either this is the culture or simply just they see her for what she is. I don't know. Maybe a little bit of both. Or nobody's really surprised. With regards to her family, her brother called me a few days later after she quit to go to the apartment. He told me not to worry, that he had something for me. He was waiting for me at the door. He told me she wasn't there. We walked in and he said to take whatever I wanted. I said thanks, but no thanks. He then said I couldn't leave until I take something or his parents are not going to leave him alone. He didn't care if I sold it or gave it away. I remember my friends, the ones who caught my ex, bought their house recently, but didn't have much, so I took a few sofas for them. Wow. Her parents, they're not even married, and the parents are insisting, take some couches, take some this, take some that, because you're a good man, you deserve it, we don't want our daughter to have it. Interesting. While waiting for the moving truck, I asked him the reason for this when he knew I didn't need it. He told me they had a massive fallout. His parents went so hard on her to the point he didn't have anything left to say. A few days later, his sister told them she was moving to another state and asked for their help to pack. When they arrived, she told them that the moving truck was coming and her father stopped her before she finished. Told her it wasn't necessary, everything fits into your car. Wow. They must have really liked this guy, and they definitely don't take this kind of crap. There was no use for the truck. He grabbed the bags of clothes and took them to her car without waiting for a response. 2 elevator trips and it was done. Her mother felt a little bad because my ex was already a mess and it got worse after that. So she bought her a plane ticket to avoid any accidents and left the next day. He said her parents were very embarrassed with me and my family. He said his parents are very embarrassed with me and my family about the whole thing and don't know what to do to make it up. They came up with this with the hope that it would help. I thanked him and said I would talk to his parents to ease a little bit after that. After I left the sofas with my friend, I went to my ex-in-law's house. I thanked them. Their gesture was going to help somebody I care for, and it was more valuable to me. I told them that we are cool, and my family and I will hate to lose the friendship we have built over the years. Let's take some time, but stay in touch and meet once the awkwardness is gone. Well, that's nice of this guy. I mean, these guys, this family, he could have walked away and said pretty much, hey, you know what? It was so bad with your daughter, I don't want to deal with you again, but not say those words, but you get the point. But he realized they were good people, and he's not going to let her ruin a good relationship. So he's going to stay connected with her brother and her parents. Meanwhile, she's toast. Very different. After this, I just kept living. I didn't waste energy dwelling over it as I'm a straightforward guy. Things were going great and still are. Now I'm 29 years old. My family and I are still good friends with them. We have lost some members, but we remember them fondly. My friends, the one who caught her, are still my best friends. Work is still paying good, and I met someone who showed me in the 4 years that we've been together how great she is and the good times, but still how amazing she is during the bad ones. Well, that's awesome, bro. I'm glad you found a good one. Now, remember, learn the lessons of the past. Be very careful. Don't make the same mistake twice. But I'm glad you found a girl that you're happy with and is good during the good times and also good during the bad times. This is why you take your time and you get serious, because you want to see all these different circumstances arise and see how they handle them. Do they handle it the way she did the first time, where work got busy and problems with his dad's health, and now she's throwing a tantrum and getting mad because he wants to spend time with her? This is not how I thought it was supposed to be. Or is she supportive and loyal and says, I'm with you, I got your back. Good, but be careful. Now listen to this. As for my ex, she moved back 2 years ago after we broke up, but she is still seen strained from her family. She got pregnant by a random guy, so they talk and see each other, but it's more for the sake of the kid. Well, there's a surprise. This guy dodged a bullet with her. Her brother told me she let herself go, and she's still alone, with no friends, but at least takes care of the kid, and that is something. When he says let herself go, that's usually code for gain 40 pounds. If there's an advice for the ones listening, is to be a decent and solid person. I'm not the nicest or kind, and I only care for a few people, but being like that has taken me places. People notice. I could have destroyed my ex's life, but I decided not to. I just had to hold myself to the same standard, and others took care of that, herself included. Keep yourself high and take no crap, even if you are on your own, but if you have people who truly care, repay in kind. So that's that. Nothing too crazy for me, but my friend thinks differently. This was a bit of a long story, but if you need more details, let me know. Be well. Well, bro, you pretty much covered it. It was a good story, and it backs up a lot of points I make quite regularly on different stories and situations I go over here. You know, the guy made abundantly clear from the beginning, hey, look, if you're not happy, break up with me. Don't cheat, don't embarrass me, don't humiliate me, just break up with me. Nope. 6 months he was cheating on behind the back when things started to go bad. And it goes to show you why you got to spend many years with a girl if you're going to get really serious, to see when bad times come, and they will, like with his father, and extra time with his dad and work, how's she going to handle it? These stories where they meet and a month later they get married is the stupidest thing in the world, and no surprise they end in divorce and get very messy. You got to be together for the good times and the bad to really see someone's character, and take years. None of this rushing off to get hit shit, or even rushing off to get in a relationship. Make them work to get you. I say 6 months minimum of dating before you actually get into an exclusive, just you and her type of relationship. Really see what she's like, and by her working to get you, it's going to her appreciate you more. And of course, her knowing that she can't get you so easily, and you can walk away like that and replace her, if you will, they'll treat you better. We always appreciate things we work hard to get. Absolutely. And of course, interesting take on the story, given the fact that how the family sided with him. How often does that happen over here? Not very often. So that was a good one to go over. So I appreciate this guy saying this story. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And as I say always, you got a great story you want to share with me, email it to me. My email address is in the About section and also in the description. And if down the road, if it definitely works, I'll certainly do it. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.